Gather round, fellow history buffs and lovers of the strange. Today, we're taking a wild journey back in time to the Victorian era. You might picture corsets, top hats, and Queen Victoria looking, oh, so serious. But trust me, there's a whole lot more to it than that. This era, spanning from 1837 to 1901, was a time of massive change, but it was also just a tiny bit weird. So let's peel back the curtain and uncover 5 of the most mind-bogglingly crazy facts from Victorian times. First up, let's talk about a popular hobby, collecting ferns. This wasn't just a casual interest. It was a full-blown craze called keratomania, or fern madness. People would risk their lives climbing cliffs and exploring treacherous ravines just to find a rare specimen. Fern motifs appeared absolutely everywhere. On pottery, textiles, furniture, you name it. There were even fern hunting parties. It sounds bizarre, but for the Victorians, it was the height of fashion. Now, from the garden to the dinner table, things get even stranger. Victorians had some, let's say, unique culinary tastes. While we might enjoy a nice steak, they were dining on things like boiled sheep's head, turtle soup, and jellied eels. But the real showstopper? The 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. And no, that wasn't just a nursery rhyme. Ambitious chefs would actually bake a giant pie crust with live birds inside. When the pie was cut open at the dinner table, the birds would fly out, creating a spectacular and probably very messy surprise for the guests. Talk about dinner and a show. Okay, let's move on to fashion and beauty, because this is where things get truly dangerous. The ideal Victorian woman had a pale, delicate complexion. To achieve this look, some women used makeup that contained lead and even arsenic. These toxic substances would slowly poison them, causing hair loss, muscle paralysis, and eventually, death. And that vibrant green color you see in Victorian dresses and wallpaper? It was often made with a pigment called Scheele's green, which was loaded with arsenic. Simply wearing a dress or living in a room with that wallpaper could make you seriously ill. They were literally dying for fashion. If you thought that was dark, wait until you hear about their fascination with death. Victorians didn't shy away from mortality. They embraced it in a way that seems morbid to us today. One of the most popular practices was post-mortem photography. When a loved one died, especially a child, families would hire a photographer to take one last family portrait with the deceased. These weren't seen as creepy, but as cherished mementos to remember their lost family members. It was a way of keeping their memory alive, literally, in a picture. Finally, let's talk about medicine, or what passed for it. If you got sick in the Victorian era, your treatment might be worse than the disease. Doctors prescribed medicines that were packed with substances we now know are highly addictive and dangerous, like opium, morphine, and even cocaine. Cough syrup for children often contained a hefty dose of opium. Feeling a bit down? Your doctor might recommend a pick-me-up tonic that was essentially just wine mixed with cocaine. These so-called miracle cures were sold openly and were thought to be perfectly safe. It's a miracle anyone survived. So there you have it. From fern madness and exploding pies to poisonous dresses and cocaine tonics. The Victorian era was a truly wild time filled with contradictions. It was an age of incredible progress, but also one of incredibly bizarre and dangerous habits. What do you think is the craziest fact? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this trip to the past, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more weird history.